Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Taste of Dragons, the Toddcast, video game podcast that all of them fireworks listen to.
Baby, you're a firework, and you're listening to this podcast. Thank you for doing both.
Thank you. Roar.
Yeah.
Roar.
I like it. I dig it. I dug it.
You dug it.
I dug it.
There you go.
Video games. Happy to be here with you all. Happy to talk about video games.
Always.
Yeah,
I'm
love
content. I don't know about happy.
I'll take it.
I'll always take content.
Yeah.
It's better than not.
It's better than miserable, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of people out there who are.
Exactly.
Well, this is for you all, too.
This
Yeah.
absolutely is. Let's get this started. My name is Brian.
I'm Lewis.
I'm T-Roy.
Amanda.
Zach.
And I'm Katelyn.
And this is a kind of sad time because this is going to be our last week with Lewis as our regular.
Woo!
Yeah.
I mean, oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
that's just hurtful. So I'll go cry.
You know, whenever you come back down, well, more than welcome to have, if you can take, time out
I
of
could
your
do that.
busy
But, hey
schedule.
guys, on my way down. Let's do a podcast. Lewis, we just did it yesterday. Do it again.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Make up some news.
Do it live. So, but you're heading to the sweet town of New York.
Yeah.
New
we're-
York City.
Yeah.
Where robbing is just a regular day thing.
That's right. We had a whole podcast about
We
it.
did, yeah. And now I can live it.
Now you can.
Are you excited? What's the first video game you're going to play when you get to New York?
When I get to New York.
Yeah.
Besides Crippling Dead Edition.
That
Not find a job.
Yeah, not Grand Theft Auto. Hopefully.
No.
It's just,
You should play Spider-Man because it's in New York.
Hey.
You should only play,
Spider-Man, real life edition, right? That's how you break legs.
only play games that take place in New York for the first 3 months you're there.
That sounds like a no for me.
You can learn
GTA
the
3.
city.
yeah.
GTA 3, Spider-Man again.
That other
Spider-Man for PlayStation 2.
Ooh, hey, Spider-Man 3, that was a game.
Well, isn't there an Assassin's Creed that had New York in it?
Old time New York, yeah.
Yeah.
Assassin's
Oh,
Creed
wow,
3.
that was a thing.
That counts.
It does count.
We were playing the game and looking for the bar we like to go to.
Because it was around then.
It was. That's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Down in the south part.
Did you
of
find it?
Manhattan. Kinda.
There was definitely a space where it should be.
We're like,
Right.
that's close
It
enough.
was like a
is it?
building. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in honor of your last week, Lewis, we'll do our worst job possible. That way
please
nobody
do.
listens to this ever again.
Please do. I want some real bad D on this one.
Okay, well, there it is.
Getting it out while you can.
Yeah.
Check the clock.
Yeah. Well, let's begin this week by what you've been playing, Lewis.
All right. The video games, sometimes they just like, well, there's like so many. And then people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't play anything this week.
Because you've been busy.
Because I've been busy preparing for this move.
Yeah.
Right.
You have a big
Definitely.
life-changing thing happening, so it's fair to
Yeah.
not have had time
I've
to
been
play.
preparing for that kind of stuff, so I haven't played too much. I like dabbled in some Days Gone after game end game stuff.
Yeah.
After I beat the game, I went back and to do some neuro checkpoints, but that's pretty much it because I want to see the second ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
they
a
I
second
didn't
ending.
have to know that.
There's a
Yeah.
second
I
ending.
didn't have to know that.
You would have known.
And you're not halfway through.
Don't ruin it.
But he thinks he's halfway through. I thought I was halfway
This
through.
is your
at one
last
point.
time to ruin it, so you might as well.
Is that a spoiler? Do you consider that a spoiler that you're not halfway through?
Not really.
Okay. See, there you go.
I guess.
See, you see, I'll go next. All right.
Yeah, please.
Because I was going to talk about Destiny because I dabbled back into it.
Yeah.
Because I thought you were going to talk about Teppen, but you didn't.
Oh, you know what? I can't talk about Teppen. I can.
Yeah.
Okay. So I downloaded it, right? And
Uh-huh.
then I clicked on it, and that opening music, real toy.
Well, why don't you
real delicious.
go ahead and ruminate? What is Teppen?
Teppen is a card-based fighting game where you use cards to make these characters actually physically fight, but you're just laying down cards.
Ah, sweet.
That's
Yeah.
so not it.
I know. I knew nothing about it. I opened it.
You're so
cool,
close.
really cool music,
It is
and
really
then it wouldn't let me play because it's like, oh, you need an update. This might take a while, and I went, well, that's dumb.
Well, that's right before this podcast.
It
so
was.
I can't do that.
It finished downloading right when we were about to sit down. I'm like, oh yeah, I can play for 2 seconds maybe.
Nope. Well, you did. You played for 2 seconds. The music.
The music's really cool. The music got me pumped.
Yeah.
I think I'm about to like go fight some armies of people, and then nothing happened.
Well, there you go. You've technically played a game this week, so well done.
Well done.
You did it.
Sure, that's
And
considered.
Teppen is pretty good.
It is pretty good. I
It
will
is?
elaborate on it.
Yeah, please do.
Brian.
Please.
Teppen actually is. It's a CCG, so you do have cards to collect.
Okay.
However, you're playing. So like in Magic, you can play as a planeswalker. You're this person.
Right.
In this game, you choose a character. So you're choosing a character from all of like Capcom's series.
Yeah, the whole laundry list
The
of
whole laundry
Capcom.
list. So you can be
characters.
Dante. You can be Ryu. You can be a Rathalos from Monster Hunter.
You can just be a Rathalos.
Oh
You
my
can
god.
you can be a Nergigante from Monster Hunter.
Wow.
Nergigante.
Yeah.
So really, all of Capcom's.
Yeah, like I think there's 8 different characters. So
Yeah,
there's
Mega Man.
Yeah, Mega Man or X actually. It's X.
Sorry.
Yeah. Wesker. But each one of them has their own unique like special move that they can also do.
Okay.
And they all have their own. So you also have. So there's 4 different colors, and there's 2 characters per color.
That seems very, very Gwent. Everyone having their own like special
Yeah,
power.
and
Oh,
Little
yeah.
Hearthstone. It's a
Yeah,
popular.
it
It's a
makes it-
familiar format.
Yeah, it works very much, like those types of things. It tries to take a little bit of everything, but then it also adds in it's in real time.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about the card game. Instead of it like your turn, my turn. Once you lay down a card, pretty much like an arrow goes from the card slowly to your enemy's card, and that's your time limit to when you have to
attacks.
react.
Oh wow.
So you actually see it happening at different times. So it's pretty active and interesting.
It is, and then like you have a meter on the bottom that goes from 0 to 10, and that's your basically your mana or your lands, if you will. So as that builds up, you have cards that cost a certain amount of points, and once it builds up to 3, you can play any cards that cost 3 or less.
Right.
And so that actively is building up. You have your character, then your opponent's also laying down cards. Then you have your creatures, which have their attack and defense, which is their attack is not as high, but their defense is a lot higher, like their life.
Pretty much like the card mechanics are come together to make a pretty fun, deep but still arcade feeling card battling game.
Yeah.
The things on the side are really cool too. The animations are great. Ryu's got a super busted out shirt.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even trying to wear a shirt anymore.
No.
It's just like halfway hanging on. It's all tattered. His
He's
pecs
wearing
is all
fabric.
out. He's just wearing fabric. But when you do a super move, you get the full Hadouken animation that goes
wow.
with it.
Yeah, and each one of them has a special move. So like Ryu's is a Hadouken, but it takes away 7 health of any creature
Right.
wow.
that your opponent has.
Yeah.
And so each one of them has their own special move. Each one of them has their own special color and their own special flavor. And then on top of all that, you have action cards, which are basically
So I
like
still
spells.
haven't figured out how those work.
I've gotten a little bit into it, and it's basically so they're basically your spells. So like if you're casting one, you can only cast it depending on how many points you have.
Right.
But once you cast it, it gives you an additional 2. So your opponent now has time to react to it, but they get an additional 2 as well. So now all their action cards, they're like, okay, cool. Well, I don't want you to do this to this one creature. I'm going to play mine on top of that. And then if they play something, it goes back to you. You can play something, and it just goes until somebody doesn't want to play anything. So it goes until somebody doesn't want to play anything anymore. And then when it actually resolves the cards, though, it resolves them in reversed order. So somebody could have been buffing up their one creature like forever. But if they only had 1 health and the last thing you play is to take away 3 health from them, it will destroy their creature, and everything that they play is not going to apply anymore. So it goes backwards from what they do.
Right.
So it's also a tactical way to do it as well.
Or just do like me and just put things
Just
on the
spam.
card and hope good things
spam
happen.
things.
But if you want to get into it now, because
Yeah.
they're giving away like 1 million packs.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
yeah, I did get a lot of
Yeah,
packs.
if you're going to get into it, you always get into it at the very beginning, because they're just going to give you stuff to
It
play.
looks cool.
Yeah,
I'll
it's really good.
I'll update it when I get home.
Yeah, it's
give it a
really
try.
interesting. Like I said, it's just in real time, which is one of those really
Yeah, it's
cool
pretty cool.
mechanics. Yeah.
Good airplane game.
Yeah. Well, no.
You can play single player.
Yeah, you can play single player. Yeah, you just can't play online.
Yeah.
With other people, obviously. So yeah, that was my game. So since you were talking about that, Troy, what did you play this week?
Right on. So Borderlands 3 is going to be coming out soon.
Yeah.
So I've decided to admit to you all right now, Zach, especially you, I am very sorry, but I haven't completed any Borderlands anything, including Tales from the Borderlands.
That's okay.
I know. This has been a very hot, lovely topic of that game, and I want to do it justice. The reason why I haven't played Tales from the Borderlands because I haven't finished Borderlands 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've played them both about halfway. Me and Mandy played Borderlands 2 for a long time, but we haven't finished it. So
Okay.
Borderlands 3 is coming out. I'm like, now is the time. I started Borderlands 1. I'm into it. And then while I was playing that, my friend Bobby was like, hey, what you doing? I'm like, I'm playing Borderlands 1. You want to play? He's like, I don't have it, but I have the pre-sequel. All right, let's start that. So I'm currently playing 2 games at the same time of Borderlands. One and the pre-sequel. And it is just as good as everyone remembers. And I'm hoping to be able to knock those out in 80 years. Because
there's like a million side quests and DLC.
Yep, I want to do it all.
Yeah.
And I still haven't finished Borderlands 2 yet, so I have to knock those 2 out, then go back to sequel. And the timeline's all messed up for me. But I'm still having a good time, and I still think it's a great series. That's
all it's about.
And I hope I can get everything all wrapped up to then play Tales from the Borderlands, probably cry my eyes out, and then go go right into Borderlands 3.
Nice.
What is interesting that even in Borderlands 1, they have the ability for you to pre-order Borderlands 3. They've built it into the infrastructure.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I'm getting advertised at for Borderlands 3 everywhere. If I launch Tales from the Borderlands, and they're also like, Borderlands 3, pre-order now, just hats off. Hats off to them.
That's
I want to go home and test that theory
Yeah,
now.
that's how they sold that DLC. They're like, oh, hey, you're playing this. There's a new DLC that just came out. Why don't you download it? So you can get an additional 10 character levels.
Just do it. You like that skin? You like some new skins? You want to have a mohawk?
yeah,
Get it now.
don't do
Yeah.
it. Nice.
I did have a quick verbal apology also to make to one of my true friends out there in the world. Their name is The Switch. Like, I know me and you, Switch, we had some good times over the summer, traveling on airplanes everywhere, and being in hotel rooms and whatnot, and then at camp. But ever since I've been back, I just haven't been hanging out as much. I've been on my PS4, my phone. And it's nothing to do with you, Switch. It's just I'm in a different place in my life right now. And I just want to let you know that I still have fond memories. And I look forward to when we can hang. I mean, Mario Maker 2 and whatnot is there. But until then, Switch, just thank you for the good times. And I apologize for not being there. As I
Really,
once was.
you're just using the Switch out of necessity.
Oh, come on.
You have to call it as he sees it, man.
You're right. Oh, look, okay. Let me format some words. Let me go cook some dinner for the Switch.
There you go.
Yeah,
Make it up to her a little bit,
We'll go see a movie.
Yeah.
We'll see a movie. Is that okay, Mandy? This got weird.
Is Netflix on the Switch yet?
This
got very weird.
I mean, you can hang out too.
You can watch.
Bring,
It's okay.
Bring your Switch. It's fine. It's all. We're all happy here. We're all happy.
We're going to have a talk after the podcast.
That's fair.
understandable.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just had this really weird image of Troy in a dark bedroom under the covers with a Switch, and Amanda walks in. What is happening here?
Is this sleep mode? Is this sleep mode? Is this sleep mode?
my hands are up here, I swear. We have to recreate that now.
It's a YouTube channel.
Yeah, YouTube. So how about you? Let's go to, I can't remember her name, even though she's right next to me.
Joe?
Good.
Your wife?
No,
Your wife,
no.
Joe?
I've only
Caitlyn.
been gone for 2 weeks.
That's all it takes. I'm already terrible with names.
Listen,
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
At a new job, and you
Whoa.
forget my name.
In
You were
four-
looking down. He couldn't see your face. It was just.
In 4 days, I've worked 60 hours. All right, I'm coming off of that. So Katelyn, what did you play this week?
Oh, let me think, Brian. So first off, I finished Cadence of Hyrule.
Nice.
Awesome game. I'm not gonna lie. About halfway through, I got really sick of trying to get to the beats, so I turned that part off, and I just do the thing where they move every time I take a step.
Okay.
So it's still, you still have to be strategic about it. It's just I don't have to worry about the beats because it was starting to get annoying.
Yeah, it's a true roguelike now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I really liked the ending. I really liked it. I mostly played as Link.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I-
What's that like?
It was fun. It was just like a Zelda game.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because you need to unlock both characters to finish the game.
Yeah.
I waited until the absolute last second to unlock the second character.
Zelda?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How's that even possible?
I did the entire game right before the final boss area thing. That's when you had to get her.
But Zelda, she's got a rapier and goes poke, poke, poke.
Yeah, no.
And it's super powerful.
Until I got that weapon, she was really not.
Oh.
She had this one dagger that looked like a piece of broken glass.
Yeah.
That the other chick, whose name I can't remember.
Cadence.
Yeah, Cadence.
Oh, it's the name of it.
Yeah. She also has a stupid dagger that doesn't do anything. So I never played as her. Like, I found out you could play as her, and then I was like, never mind, back to Link.
Yeah, I didn't play as Cadence either. I'm like, what are you doing in Hyrule? Get out.
Yeah.
Get out. This is Zelda and Link's place. Get
Yeah.
out of here. No one invited you.
But
really, so Link all the way.
Link
Broadsword all the way.
yeah, eventually I did the sword, the 2 distance,
Mm-hmm.
and I made it poisonous.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good choice.
Pretty awesome.
All right.
Good
But-
game.
All right.
Really,
music.
my life is just getting ready for Friday when Dragon Quest Builders 2
That
comes
is
out.
what you were looking forward to.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah,
Yes.
this Friday.
Well, Mandy, it's been fun being your husband. I'll see you in a month.
She's going to be with her Switch now.
Yeah. Get her revenge.
How about you, Zach? What'd you play?
Also in preparation to Builders coming out, because I will be playing with her. I think it's 2 years old now, Dragon Quest 11. I'm finally
Is it really 2 years
I'm
old
getting
now?
close to finishing it. It does a very strange thing. I can't really talk about what it does without giving massive story spoilers, but I rolled credits like 3 days ago. There's technically 3 acts to the game, but after Act 2, you get the ending and you beat the final boss and you get the credits and the game's over. It goes back to the title screen. But then there are crazy story things that can happen if you reload your save file that expands the game even further. And there's a lot of lore implications as to what changes the world and some really cool things you get to do.
Okay. I see someone played Nier Automata while making this game.
This isn't the first time a Dragon Quest has done this.
okay.
They've done it before.
Okay.
This is the first Dragon Quest I've actually played till almost completion at this point.
Yeah.
I'm going for all the trophies at this point because about 60% of them you get just for playing the regular quest. You just every time you finish a chapter, basically you get a trophy. So now that I'm deep into like the epilogue, or I guess you would call it, trying to get the true ending of the story, it's kind of like changed the world drastically. So now I have to go back to all of these areas that I technically went through before, and now there's all kinds of new stuff to do, all kinds of new bosses to fight, learning more about it. I assume all Dragon Quests are like this, just based on playing this. It's a very simple story of like the warrior wields the light and defeats the bad guy who wields the power of darkness, basically. Well, you learn more story about the guy basically who did it like generations before you, and now I'm like on a quest and gathering like all of the old party's equipment for my party and stuff, and we're getting like super powered to go fight the super final boss and whatnot.
That sounds like a video game.
Yep.
It's RPG as hell. They don't make RPGs like this anymore. So it's been a lot of fun, and then I just beat one of the hardest endgame bosses, and that was the roulette table.
Oh, you did beat it.
I finally beat it.
All right.
Like right before leaving.
Yeah, it's
Because that you had to get a jackpot on, right?
You have to get a jack. Well, yeah. There's so I don't think there's a technically I could have not done it, or no, I couldn't have. There's one trophy because there's a trophy for getting like all of the equipment that changes your appearance, and there's a couple of items you have to buy with casino coins. And there's also a side quest tied in to get the jackpot. So I'm like, if I just win this jackpot, I could knock out like 4 things technically all at once. So I just spent all my money on coins, and I'm just like, there's this chick who like will tell you the forecast. She's like, oh, somebody's about to win the jackpot. Otherwise, you have to go run back to the inn and keep sleeping over and over again until she tells you that. And then even when you do that, it's just a very small chance. It's just slightly better, and you just dump all my coins on there, and then somehow I was trying this strategy where I would bet on every single number except for the chest, and then it would hit the chest, and I'd have to just erase all those hours and reload my save file to get my coins back.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare, but it's finally over. But
Is that how you ended up getting it?
I actually ended up getting it. It took me like 10 reloads today, and then I ended up like just putting 2,000 coins down on one number, and I just got stupid luck because I just got pissed off about putting them on everything. So I'm just like, I'm going to go all in on one number, and of course it was like, okay, there you go.
All right, Zach. Well, you know what time it is. Time for us to go to the Hard Rock Casino. Let's
do it.
Let's take this game to real life.
Actually,
the
I'm
real
terrible.
games.
I should be broke beyond belief if that was a real table.
Well, just reload your save. It's fine, man.
Don't worry. They have the same functions at the casino. You can do it.
Do they have a lady dressed as a bunny who will tell me the forecast if I'm I'm going to win or
No,
not.
they do.
If you win enough, they can make that
they
happen.
will.
They'll also offer the puff puff.
Moving on.
It actually is a thing in the game. It's called it's one of the trophies is to get a puff puff from everyone you can, and the puff puff really is it's sleeping with her. Like it's not what it is, but it's what it is.
Oh, Japan.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So, all right, Manda, what is your puff puff for the week?
I don't like this podcast.
I'm gone now.
So I played an iPhone game this week. It was called Minesweeper, and I was really interested in it because I wanted to play some Minesweeper. And it said it was a puzzle game, so I was like, oh, you must play Minesweeper, and then you get story between Minesweeper.
Like the old Microsoft computer Minesweeper.
Right. You
Yeah.
click the little boxes, and sometimes there's a bomb, and sometimes there's numbers, and then you have to do math. And I'm a nerd, so I was interested in that. What I didn't know is that I had bought Minesweeper and not Minesweeper. So it was a point-and-click adventure game. It had a blocky art style. It was like super simple. It was free for the first 2 chapters, and then $3 for the rest of the game.
Whoa.
So definitely really easy, but it was nice. It was kind of like a mindless, like, click on this, get a bit of story, click on that, get a bit of story.
Okay.
So if you're interested in a game about the genetic plague and the life of the doctor who created the cure, then that is Minesweeper from Snapbreak Games.
Interesting.
Was it worth like a wedge of a sandwich or like just
It
the
was
crust?
worth the half a sandwich.
Half a
Ooh,
sandwich?
okay,
It was
okay.
worth?
It was.
Okay.
Did you get a soup with that sandwich?
No, it was $3.
Okay, so
Just half a sandwich.
Just a half
Yeah,
sandwich.
half sandwich.
It's like I bought the ingredients to make a bologna sandwich,
I mean,
and
you could buy,
I
like-
like bologna, so yeah, it was okay.
You can buy like 3 cheeseburgers at McDonald's for that. But
We're
like,
talking about sandwiches,
like grade A
Lewis.
sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
You're right. I'm so sorry.
So a burger's
she
not
just-
a sandwich.
She just mentioned the hot dogs as a pancake bologna.
You're right.
It is what it is.
That's
you're
true.
right, you're right,
I never
you're right.
thought of it that way.
Yeah, I read about that on the Twitter.
I read. the twits told me.
I give credit where credit's due. I didn't make that. So, all right. Good weekish of games, except for you, Lewis.
Yeah.
That's right. You got real world
Yeah, you
stuff
got the real
happening.
deal.
I got the stuff going down.
You got IRL stuff going on.
You know it. I'll play.
That's right.
I'll play next time.
You know, next time you're on this, we want you to play at least one game, all right?
I will have beaten one game.
Oh, you're
next
gonna- oh,
time
you're
But
gonna-
you
I'm
were
on.
you
supposed
say
to have
that.
finished Final Fantasy VII before the end of May.
Look, I made it to a point, and it's still on my Switch saying, "Hey, come back," and I'm like, "Hey, shut up.
You know,
I'll deal with you later."
maybe
Stay in the
you'll
room.
beat a game by the time you get back. Maybe.
Maybe.
I feel like this is welcome to the Toddcast, where everyone has a really weird relationship with their Switch. Lewis talks to his Troy's does stuff I don't want to talk about.
I don't have one. No, I'm sorry. Mine's living in Canada right now. You know, it's
No,
pretty
you just-
sweet.
You use your wife's Switch.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
She lets me watch. All right, let's get on to this week's news.
Yeah.
News.
Tuesday.
Well, if you watched our preview of this week's episode, there's so much news this week, guys.
It's just popping up.
It's
in
crazy.
He has a holiday.
Yeah, it was
Cricket.
4th of July.
Here. It was
So, instead of, blowing up the presses, people were blowing up, fireworks. Mm-hmm. And,
Yeah.
not body parts,
Yeah.
hopefully. And so let's see here. This week we got EA. They fixed the lightsaber, right?
They did. Apparently the internet exploded when the Star Wars trailer came out, and they were like, that lightsaber's all wrong. It's very blue. Because the blue lightsaber shouldn't be blue on blue. It should be blue on white. And EA was like, I know we haven't been good at fixing things recently. So you guys get a win.
We haven't released this game, so fine.
I know Anthem was garbage. So we'll fix this.
They had to make up for it somehow, and the lightsaber is the big step.
They said it was such a fast fix that as soon as they realized it was a
Yeah.
problem, they said they didn't do it on purpose. They were like, "Oh, you're right."
Oh,
and
right.
Then they fixed
And then
it.
they
Yeah,
press
that's
the
like a
button.
shader thing that they just go in and like, all right, yeah, now blue, white. Yeah, that's done. You're welcome. Yeah, we did a lot of work for
We did
this.
it.
They should have made. No, guys, this is going to be really hard, but for you, we will fix the lightsabers.
We got
Make it a
this.
whole announcement.
Because we listen to our fans.
That's right. They are most known for that. I'm surprised it wasn't in a DLC.
Hey,
Oh, I like EA. I like EA. But
Don't worry,
this week's been rough for this week. This year's been rough for them.
That's true.
And let's see here. Amanda, you were talking about there's a PUBG thing going on in Jordan.
Yes, so PUBG was banned in Jordan because psychologists in that country warned the game encourages violence and leads to bullying among the youth.
Now, to be clear, PUBG is one of the first popular battle royale games to come out.
Yes.
And it was pretty realistic in comparison to like a Fortnite or an Apex.
Yes,
Definitely,
most
yeah.
certainly. Yeah. And
Is that
I was just going to go. I think it leads to bullying because they're such terrible players that they just can't help but give wedgies to like the people who suck.
taking lunch money all day long?
Like, God, you're terrible at PUBG. Wedgie.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it goes.
So I looked it up, and it's also been banned in Iraq, Nepal, and China, and India. But China was my favorite because China banned it and then made just their own version of it and sold that. And it was like, that's props to them.
China don't care.
China don't care.
It's actually the same company released it. They just released it underneath. It's called, I think, Freedom Warriors or something like that. So it's the exact same, literally the exact same game, except that when they die, they actually just, I think they just like get down onto their knees and they just like disappear out of existence. It's like they're like waving. Oh, sorry, they wave goodbye. They wave goodbye and then they disappear.
That's better.
So they don't die.
I want to play that. Where every
you
time
know.
I shoot someone, they just wave goodbye.
Oh no, they're like, oh, I got tagged. I'm
Yeah,
done.
that's what it was.
Oh,
It's kind of like
that's funny.
paintball. Yeah.
That's funny.
So follow me. What if when you die, Mushu comes and takes you to the afterlife?
Nope.
Listen.
You're not gonna get there.
No.
Mushu's so bad they removed him from the live action. All right.
Do you want PUBG banned from all countries?
countries?
Yeah.
I'm a Fortnite girl, so
So yeah.
So yes.
Yes,
So
exactly.
That's the answer.
If that happens, Fortnite's the great white dragon or great stone dragon.
Oh, yeah.
He's just gonna murder the Fortnite
Yep.
because he's the worst dragon.
Well, technically not the
Technically,
worst.
yeah,
According
the
to
worst.
us.
Yeah, according to most of us, he's not the worst dragon.
Check out Tuesday's Instagram, Ranking of Dragons.
Mushu's second from last.
He knows what he did.
He knows what he did.
He's aware.
And then there's a Myst TV show. I think,
Yep.
Katelyn, you were telling us about this?
Yep, that's pretty much all the news they have.
And Myst with a MYST, the
Yep.
original game.
Yeah, the original game, the ambient puzzling islands, point and click. I never knew how to classify Myst when I played it as a kid. It was mystifying.
Yeah.
It was aptly aimed.
Oh, it is kind of a point and click, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a point and click exploration,
I
maybe?
mean, you know me. I always want a point and click TV show. Just give me that.
Yeah.
They said, suffice it to say that we have...
They did that. It's called Bandersnatch.
No, but like I want more pointing.
Okay,
more
fine.
clicking.
All right.
All right.
want-
Do you want like
Katelyn.
Dora the Explorer when they're like, "Where's Swiper?" and then you
Yeah,
see the
but
mouse
I don't
come
want
and
the
do the
mouse
click?
controlling itself. I want to be the one doing it.
Oh, I thought you were being sarcastic.
I was being sarcastic.
okay.
100%. But
It's just gone so far. He
I
has
had
to
to
commit.
go into
Can't
it.
come back.
I had to go into it.
So go ahead.
Go
Poor
on.
Katelyn, go for it.
They have a few ideas that don't exactly fit into a scripted TV or movie right now, and having all of this under one development group with the most transitional TV and movie means that they can cross-pollinate in some very interesting ways. And that's the only quote they've let out so far.
So
about
we don't
this.
even know who wants to make a TV show out of this.
It's a TV production courtesy of Village Roadshow.
Okay.
Okay. They have done stuff. I
They
just
have
can't
done
think off the
things.
top of
I
my
can
head.
think of nothing, but I've seen.
I've heard of the name.
Yeah,
so.
same.
I would watch it on YouTube.
Cross-pollinating sounds very professional.
It
That's what I'm
does.
just
Whenever
saying.
you mention that,
It does. It's
There's
gonna.
lots of syllables
It's gonna
in that word.
synergize very well.
Oh, yes, I can
know,
see.
you
Hit
know,
the
a lot
target
of other
audience.
corporate speak.
Yeah.
a lot of other combined words as I do it.
And then also, in case you guys don't play Warframe out there, TennoCon just happened,
Ooh.
where it's every single year they hold a convention where they explain what they're going to be releasing over the next year, and they show off what's going to be coming out and new updates and everything.
For all them ninjas.
For all them ninjas, them space ninjas. So that was just on, I think, Saturday. And so they actually had, I think, at one point 300,000 concurrent viewers on Twitch for their because they live streamed it, and then they also paid for like Shroud and a couple other people to watch it, to like simulcast it. So they actually turned out like really well. They finally showed off a couple of their expansions that they're coming out with, and they showed off ways that they're going to implement it. So yeah, that was actually fairly big-ish news in the Warframe front.
Nice.
It made me actually reinstall it. I haven't played it yet, but I reinstalled it.
But you got it there.
Because again, I worked 60 hours in the last 4 days.
But you got it there waiting.
I did. They got me. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that was the other ish news, I guess. Like there really was nothing.
No, there was nothing.
There was absolutely nothing this week.
That was the news.
So because there was nothing, though, we can talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, we
All
can.
right,
We can.
you doing it.
So so on Instagram, we came out with our most American of Americans, correct?
Yeah, the most American Americans in video games.
Right.
We kind of went around to see what characters those would be.
That's right.
Right off the bat, we had George Washington from Assassin's Creed 3. He doesn't get more American than
Then actual George Washington.
Yeah.
in a video game.
That'll do it.
And definitely Connor from Assassin's Creed 3 as well, because he's also pretty American. He's a native
He's
American.
a Native American.
Yeah, he may be more American than George
OG
Washington. technically
American.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also had BJ Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein. He bleeds America. If he could bleed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that, and we also had Tina Armstrong from Dead or Alive. She just wears American things.
Yeah.
I could attest to her patriotism.
Not a lot of American
Not
things,
a lot
but
of American things.
She
but
wears just enough American things in order to be on that console.
exactly. We had President Ackerman. This was Brian's favorite.
This was
American from Red Alert 3, the live action portions of it.
Yeah, the cut scenes was phenomenal. And what it's even better about it, so like if you play it through the American side of it, he's just your president, but there's like a little bit of like whispers that he might be a sleeper agent. Then you play it through the Russian side, and like the American, he's just like, he's not that great, he's just whatever. But then if you play it as the Chinese side, or not the Chinese side, the Japanese side, you find out that he actually is a sleeper agent. He's actually he's a robot that the Japanese have implanted into America.
I mean, he's played by J.K. Simmons.
He's played by J.K. Simmons, of course.
Of course, it's gonna
His
turn.
acting range, of course, he can only be a robot. But I think it's hilarious that he's my most American, but he's like the opposite because he's a robot.
I mean, there's some commentary there, but we'll move on.
There is.
My favorite American was the boss from Metal Gear Solid series.
Nice.
So American that she was portrayed as a traitor in order to save America's name.
You can't get more American.
And no one will know that except her protege and then the millions and millions of people who played the game.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
But in that world,
a true patriot. So patriotic, everyone thinks she's a traitor.
that's right.
Which Metal Gear did you learn that she wasn't a traitor in?
In that one, the same game she was introduced. So they nailed it. They set it up and knocked it down in one game.
One and done.
Yeah.
And then spent 3 more games explaining like how everything is because of that.
Yep.
Oh, Kojima.
And then we had some good comments. We in our Instagram about adding Guile, the other Street Fighter,
how
which
could you forget?
slipped us all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally right on that. Guile is the Sonic Boom of America. So, yeah.
Good call, Instagram commenters.
Yeah. Thank you out there.
Yeah, appreciate that. So, and then we also have a discussion of the week.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little peckish.
Are you?
Yeah, a little hungry. I'm hangry.
Okay.
That's really good because we have a tasty topic.
No. We only slightly rehearsed that.
Yeah, I bet.
You guys are really
on the drive.
You guys are actors. I didn't even know.
Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome. So what's our this week's tasty topic?
So there was an UK census that revealed that racing video games make players worse drivers.
All right.
They said that racers are 1.3 times more likely to be in an accident. This service was from the UK.
Okay.
But what do you guys think? Do you think that racing video games have made you a better driver because it increased your response time, or a worse driver because you might be a little overconfident?
Okay, I'm going to go with, first of all, I think that it's a slightly biased because most of those people are driving their mom's car.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. But I'm
Also,
just
take
going
a
to put
black
that.
cab. What are you in UK driving for? Get a black
Yeah,
cab.
come on.
Yeah, done.
I didn't do the census.
Mandy,
actually.
get a black cab.
what's wrong
What
with
are
you?
you doing?
Get a plane flight.
why-
Go to London.
And these people
or
aren't
taxi.
all in London. They were just in the United Kingdom. I know.
She's
I know.
not
Video
wrong.
games only do London, but there's like a whole country there.
If it's not in a video game, I don't know it.
I don't know. Zach, has it made you a better driver, do you think? Or how has video game driving affected you?
I don't know that video games ever really affected any sort of real life skills that I have. Like, I mean, I guess technically you play enough Forza and you have to learn how the mechanics of a car technically go around turns and, drifting and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's never made me think, hey, I should go barrel around this turn way faster than I should, kind of thing. So, but I guess I could buy that some people are just, you know what, I'm just going to do a little something crazy right now, or kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I know you clearly still have to practice this. It's a skill, kind of
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, I don't think I have any more thought than that. Like, I think it takes a special kind of person to
do that.
to do that in real
begin
life.
with. Yeah.
Especially, I guess I mean, it's pretty cool. I've always wanted to get one of those setups where you basically just turn the driver into your chair, or you got the pedals and everything like that.
Oh,
so I
go
guess if they're really going into it, maybe they
full
just forget,
simulation.
I'm in an
Yeah.
actual car right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that for my dad. My dad used to was really into NASCAR, and he liked to play NASCAR video games. So I bought him like the pedals and the wheel for the computer, so he can actually do NASCAR.
Did he get in more accidents and or traffic speeding tickets after that?
My dad literally has never gotten a speeding ticket, like I think in like 30 years. So
Well, thanks to you.
yeah,
Thanks to you.
Good job, Brian.
Well done.
Good job.
That you
Totally.
know of.
Troy?
I've had it gone the other way for me. I've definitely seen a few yellow lights where I probably should have stopped, but instead I'm like, I got this. The one example I can say for me, video games in general, and probably racing games in particular, have both helped and hindered me in the sense of, yes, that light was turning yellow, or had turned yellow, and I was like, oh, I can do this. And I went for it. It turned red.
Oh, yeah.
And the green lights went on the other side, and cars started moving, but I was going too fast to stop at this point. So I just had to keep going. And literally, I remember like two cars coming and from my left and right, and I had to quickly turn to the left, skid around, turn to the right, and move forward. And I did it without thinking. I just did it.
Yeah.
And then was driving forward, and I was like, what did I what? Like, what? I just like, my brain melted afterwards, but in that moment, I was a driving god. Also, the worst driver ever. The driving devil.
A driving god that broke the law and almost killed someone.
Or multiple people. Yeah.
To
So
be fair,
good and bad.
driving like that's pretty normal in South Florida.
That's fair.
Yeah, you know what? Nobody honked.
I was gonna say,
No one
were you
No.
in Miami?
No, I was in Coral Springs. No, Margate. I was nearby here.
Okay, I was about to say, because if it was Coral Springs, they're also used to it there.
Yeah, it's close enough to
It's
Coral
close
Springs,
enough,
yeah.
So I guess this begs the question: how do we define bad driver? Because that sounded like
Everybody
pretty
else.
nifty maneuvering.
The bad driving was a decision that I could make it. Luckily, the good driving compensated for the bad driving, but I
Yeah.
think it's still bad overall. All of it is bad.
Yeah.
All of it is bad
but the
Video
good
games.
driving saved him. Yes.
in that moment.
Yes.
Also, there was a lot of luck. Let's not say I'm that great. It's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
a lot of luck.
How about you, Katelyn?
I'm a good driver in real life and a bad driver in video games, so I don't feel a personal correlation.
Okay.
My favorite phrase.
Yeah.
So fun.
So, like, because I'm a good driver. I think I'm a good driver. I don't know, Zach, what do you think?
I think Floridians are bad drivers. That's
I doubt it.
We don't have our skills tested a lot. I learned this going elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's all flat. There's no curves. People drive relatively slow.
That's why we have to make it Mad Max, and you go to
Right.
Miami, and that's where you go to all those places, so you
Yeah.
can get your.
To be fair, there's a lot of New Yorker drivers down here, and New Yorker drivers are bad. So I
Yeah.
think that has a lot to do with it.
Fair enough.
That's fair. But then I think I'm a pretty good driver behind the wheel of a real car. But then I can't figure out how to do the little drifty thingy in Sonic, or not Sonic, in
Crash.
In Crash.
Well, that's insanity. Doesn't even make sense.
No, that's the trilogy. The trilogy's insanity.
So personally, but again, I also play like Mario Kart and Crash Team Racing. I don't play like the Forzas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've only used to kind of play them when I was actually going to arcades. Otherwise, I never really was big into them on my personal consoles.
Gotcha. I'll go with me. Personally, it absolutely helped me and saved my life once.
Really?
I used to always play Gran Turismos. I used to always play
too.
with my dad. We would always do like the career mode. We each have our own save file. We would do all of it. We would do it great. And so I played all the Gran Turismos. And then one time when I was coming back from college, I think I was 19 at this point, 19 or 20. Coming back from Tallahassee, my girlfriend at the time is in the passenger seat. She's sleeping. So I'm just cruising down the left-hand lane, doing my 70, probably 80. And so I'm cruising down the left-hand lane. And then as I'm going towards an overpass, some guy juts, I'm going around a corner as well. Like it's a slight curve. A guy juts out in front of me out from under the overpass.
What?
And so it's directly in front of me. And it's just like with you, Troy. Without even thinking, I slam on my brakes, turn my wheel right, but my car doesn't actually turn. It actually just keeps on skidding towards him. And then this is all, within like split seconds. So it's like my car keeps on skidding towards him. So I tap my gas. So I go into the right-hand lane. And then I start skidding that way.
Wow.
But then I know I can't oversteer because then I'm just going to start to donut. So I just barely do it, tap my gas again. So I even out. And then my car rocks back and forth. And my girlfriend at the time that was sleeping, just slams her head against the window. And she's like, "What the hell was that?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, but we almost died." You see that guy going 5 miles an hour back there?
Oh
That
my
guy was
gosh.
we were almost in him.
Wow.
But this was all within a split second. It's because I've had that experience where I start skidding and I know what I have to do. I have to tap the gas. So I do this, make sure I don't oversteer, so I don't
I learned about oversteering in Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what. And I'm in an accent. I'm not in a sports car or anything like that. But knowing that my car started to skid and not actually turn,
And you knew what to do.
I knew exactly what to do, and it was not even actively thinking. It wasn't until after it was over. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Wow. For me, it was just swerving very particularly. I didn't have to do the drifting and the oversteering that you had to do. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really interesting,
Yeah.
and I remember it was just I was really proud, but really shaken up about it. I remember getting home, going "Oh my god,
This happened.
I just did this!" But oh my god, that just happened.
You're one of those.
We were almost dead.
You're one of those confident people that are talking about. I am a god.
Yeah, but then your hands are just shaking.
You're shaking on your way to the house. Oh my! Just
Yeah, it was really
Pure fear.
rough.
Pure
Yeah.
fear.
But Gran Turismo absolutely has saved my life.
Sometimes I do think in small ways games have a bleeding effect, a la Assassin's Creed style, where whether it could be as visceral as an instinct that you have, you just do, or you just have that, or when we were in England and I'm like, I think a park is over there, just because of just naturally innately feeling like there's a park because I jumped around there in Assassin's Creed Syndicate a bunch,
Yeah.
and then being correct or whatever. So I think there is definitely an influence
no, for sure there
of
is.
that.
Especially with, shooting games, it helps with your, hand-eye coordination, honestly. At least they've tested that, a lot of people that play those kind of shooting games tend to be better at aiming within real life because the fact that they need to aim so much within a specific crosshair.
Train your eyes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, they're not going to be full-on snipers in real life, but they'll have better aim in general.
They did a study in 2011 that said that found a correlation between playing video games and improved coordination, or include response time. And so I think the main difference between the study they did in 2011 and the most recent one is that, like in Brian's example, was he was in a situation and was able to react better because of that situation, so that was positive. But in Troy's example, Troy created the situation based on the video, and I think that's what they were trying to poke at. Is they said that like 1 in 5 UK citizens that were playing video games put themselves in a situation where they wanted to try something they saw, and that's super dangerous. Don't do that.
Yes, 100% agree.
What article, what paper, where'd that come from again?
You had to ask me. It was a UK paper. I want to say it was called The Tribute, but
The Tribute.
I did not write it down.
Yeah. That sounds British or UK-ish.
I read that on the weekly.
Yeah, totally. But how about you, Lewis or Amanda? What do you guys feel like?
I mean, when I'm driving, I get angry. I'm like, damn it, I wish there was just like a really, really like green and just turtle shell I can just throw at someone.
So you just wish you were Mario Karting
everywhere. That's the extent of racing games.
I thought you were gonna go GTA with
that's where I thought you were going.
No, in GTA, I can't count GTA as I cannot drive in GTA.
Why not?
I purposely hit everything.
Why?
Because it's so much fun.
I played GTA 4 and stuck to every driving law.
I did that once. I played an entire day where I just stuck to every law, and then the next day I did the opposite, where I hit every car and every person, just driving all over. And then the car was damaged. I'd be like, well, I get out, there's cops coming. I'm like just slowly walking, get in another car, start all over again.
That's how he lives his life.
That's how I live my life.
Crimes.
I'm a bad driver. I'm just like I'm a bad driver. I'm bad at driving video games. I don't play a lot of driving video games, but if they made me a worse driver, then I would be in big trouble. I'm that absolutely like the Florida ladies can't drive stereotype that I both hate and embody.
But you know that you are.
You're aware.
That's half the battle.
You're self-aware, yeah.
Yeah, if people are getting in the car with me and I was like, I'm just letting you know I'm a bad driver. Also, you're welcome to drive.
I think somebody did a study, I forget how long ago it was, but it was like, how many people do you think are bad drivers, and do you think you're a better driver than everybody else? And so like, I think one of them was like, the amount of bad drivers out there, I think was like 50-50 or something like that. But then the amount of people who thought they were a good driver was like 78%, which, if that's just not how that works.
Right,
There's you can't be better than the average driver. If
28% of you are wrong.
Are wrong, exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting study. I think it was like 5 years ago, something like that. They did that. But yeah, it's just a really funny correlation. So that was a nice, tasty topic.
Yeah, thank you. Nice.
Good thing that's not rehearsed.
Yeah, not at all.
So that brings us to this week's Dragon of the Week.
It's the Dragon of the Week. Yeah, it's so chic.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Dragon of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
Please don't say that D of the week. Of the week.
Lewis. Can't wait for that D.
So anyway, Dragon of the Week is our weekly chance to shine a little light on a industry professional or icon in the gaming industry. And just, show a little love to some people that have showed us love by creating the games we like to play.
Oh, yeah. And then this week, I believe it is you, Troy, correct?
Yes, it is.
Welcome back again.
Thank you for being back. I'm
Yeah,
happy
man,
to be
welcome
here
back.
with you all.
You thank Brian because you got to come back.
Yeah.
Thank you for booking my flight.
You're very welcome.
Fueling the airplane. I mean, you got my bags there like lickety-split.
Hey.
Well done.
Whatever I could do. What do you think I've been doing over these last 60 hours?
You work a lot.
I worked a lot on that plane.
You're very good. All right, so my Dragon of the Week is famed and legendary video game producer, director, and founder, Jade Raymond.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's a name.
It is. In order to allow talented programmers, composers, designers, and whatnot to do their work, you need a good producer.
Absolutely.
Someone who knows how to handle the financial and managerial aspect of gaming so the artists don't have to worry about the stuff and they can just create, business.
Yeah.
Like for real business.
Business.
Like with numbers and meetings.
Yeah, and people and negotiating. Someone's got to be good at that stuff in order for any of this to be made. So sometimes it's the developer's job to do that. So they have to worry about being the artists and the the programmer and do the music and market their game and find funding for it. So here's one person that can just deal with all that stuff. Yeah. And if you are really good at it, you get to be legendary like Jade here.
Oh yeah, and be our Dragon of the Week.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the path for you.
That's the path.
It's an honor.
You too could be Dragon of the Week one of these days.
It's an honor.
So Jade started as a programmer for Sony and then became a producer for Ubisoft, a managing director for multiple game studios, and is now a vice president of freaking Google.
Jeez.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me tell you how this all happened quickly. I first heard of Jade when she presented for the demo for the first Assassin's Creed game back in 2007. I think it was E3.
Oh yeah.
It was like the first showing of it. She was the person that actually presented it and was like, "This is Assassin's Creed." And it was kind of glitchy, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
I remember walking away from that and being like, "Yeah, I'll play that." And then in the end, it ended up being one of my favorite game franchises of all time.
Yeah.
And she actually produced and led the creation of Assassin's Creed 1.
Interesting.
After then becoming executive producer for Assassin's Creed 2 and Watch Dogs. With those games in the bank, Ubisoft was like, we got money. We can get you more money, Canada, if you give us money. So they actually secured like $260 million to create 800 jobs in Canada.
Wow.
And Ubisoft was like, we're going to open some more studios. And they looked at like who would head up these studios. And they were like, Jade, you made Assassin's Creed a thing. Can you make this thing a thing? And she was like, I got this. So they formed Ubisoft Toronto, and she was a managing director there. And Ubisoft Toronto has given us big games like Splinter Cell Blacklist, Watch Dogs 2, Rainbow Six Siege, Far Cry 4, 5, Primal, For Honor, and just on and on. Like, it's a successful game company.
So she did her job, is what you
Yeah.
said.
She did her job.
She
did her job. She started that, got that baby rolling, and it was very successul.
Nice.
Another studio she created had a little more tumultuous career. She created EA Motive Studios, which worked with EA and infamously collaborated with on the Star Wars game that got canceled. You may remember from the Uncharted writer Amy Hennig, who was penning it.
Was that 12-12?
13-13.
13-13.
Yes.
That was
That
close.
was-
It was the next
close.
one.
That was the
next one.
prequel.
Yeah.
So they kind of took a big risk on that, and the EA kind of shut that down. And so that company ended up merging with BioWare and working on games like Battlefront 2 and then the early development of Anthem. So that studio had a bit of a rough go around.
The beginnings of Anthem though did look really nice.
It did.
It did.
And this actually led me to a quote by her, which I think is pretty cool. She says, like, whenever you see a success, it's because someone took a big risk. And what she tries to do is push teams to think about meaning and to say something deeper with their games. So I could definitely see where in Star Wars, when we saw that trailer, we were like, oh, there's something deeper here than just Star Wars. But unfortunately, it was too risky. And it didn't work out.
It was too deep. It was way too deep.
It was just too deep.
And Anthem was definitely a risk. Like it didn't
at
pan
first.
out, but you could see that they bet big and then they just almost made it.
Yeah.
It just-
Yeah.
They didn't get that roulette.
No jackpot there.
You got to just restart your save.
Yeah.
Keep restarting that save.
Keep trying.
There is a save state out there where it has worked out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're welcome.
You know what? I'm okay.
I feel like that's an indie game to be made. I don't know how, but there's an idea there.
That's an
Yeah.
idea right there.
Finding the good anthem.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, back
Anyways.
to
Yeah, it's a dream. Well, for undisclosed reasons, she left EA.
undisclosed.
Undisclosed.
Yeah.
And kind of said she was going to work on a top secret project, which ended up being that she became a vice president at Google and is heading their first game studio, Stadia Games and Entertainment,
Okay.
for the Stadia streaming service. So she's going to be the head of Stadia when it comes to the games, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Jade is also a board member on the global network Women in Film and Television International, which is a group dedicated to advancing development and achievement for women in all areas of film, video, and other screened media. Just trying to get that, get more representation out there.
Yeah.
Of course.
Lots of accolades, lots of awards. She was in Variety Magazine's 500 list for last year for the most influential business leaders shaping the global entertainment industry.
Like,
just
when does she have
clout.
time to make games?
Yeah, Jesus.
That's the thing, is that she's just managing it. She's just
Yeah.
making it happen.
That's what I mean. Like, when does she find time though? Like, that's
All
a
the
big
time.
part.
And there's a lot of really good lectures out there by her that I found of her speaking at the BAFTAs and just talking about managing creativity and how she does that.
That's more time.
The question you're asking, she talks about how it's possible, and it
Yeah.
actually makes sense. And
That's
you're like,
awesome.
oh, this is why you're so good. You make it simple, and you think about the people, and you hear them, and you manage creativity to manage business. She kind of reminds me of a producer in the theater industry I have. Remember Anne?
Yes.
Awesome woman. And the theater company we worked with, she saw the vision, she saw the goals, she saw what we were doing, and she just helped make it happen, to get it done. Talk to the people, talk to the venue, find the fundraising, make it happen so that we could just act and perform and create. And she's one of the most brilliant people I know, and that's just on a local theater level.
Yeah.
And so I think it's tremendous that Jade is out there doing this on a global level as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I sense a pattern here with women, and we need more of them in this industry.
That's
I'd say so.
Yeah.
agreed.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So with that, I just love the way that she's kind of like bringing dreams to life, and deeply respect and honor that she can be our dragon of the week.
Thank
I
you.
This
wasn't
week.
big in Stadia, but knowing that the person who brought such big titles to other companies is leading the development of, or producing the games that they're going to be coming out with, even knowing so little about them, is kind of inspiring. It's like, I might
Definitely
look a little more into that. I wasn't
Yeah.
thinking about Stadia.
It definitely creates that interest for me.
but- yeah.
And if you remember when they demoed Stadia, it was with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It all makes sense now.
And like you said, I guarantee, no matter what it's going to be a big risk. Because,
Right.
like you said, that's what she's going to do.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
You know,
And-
why
yeah.
do it if it's not going to be a risk?
Take the risk, and if the potential behind it is coming from a real and honest place, then there's substance for that risk to stand on. And I think that is what Stadia is doing. It's a huge risk. What it's trying to do is pretty much go up against the big consoles without a console. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But knowing that she is kind of heading that gives me a lot of hope, and makes
sure.
me very curious and interested in what that company comes up with.
It's already working too, because I mean,
Yeah.
it's got the other companies not scared, but at least looking into it enough that they're all working together. I mean, what do you have to be in order to get Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo to all be kind of working together? You
tariff.
know? Yeah, yeah. Besides money. I mean, that definitely got them thinking and doing other things. Like, I mean, that's what competition's completely for. It's
And
to innovate.
that's what I kind of noticed as going through her history that I was finding. Is like with Assassin's Creed, like she changed the genre for open world games. She made it fast. You could climb up anything, blend into things.
Yep.
The structure of it, it wasn't a perfect game by any means, but it made it took a lot of risks, and the ones that did end up panning out really changed the landscape. In a lot of ways, Google Stadia is doing the same thing. It's getting out there and making people be like, wait, is this okay? Is this what's going to happen? It's changing the industry, and that's just her thing.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, it's going to definitely change people working, because, I mean, Amazon already does enough with people shopping online and whatnot while they're at work. Now they can play Assassin's Creed Odyssey in their browser window. Like,
No work will get done. No work will get done.
when you're searching Amazon, your hand's just on your mouse. You just kind of go
Exactly.
along. But this, you're like, your hands are like doing stuff and everything. And it's like, oh, he's working real hard.
No work will get done.
This person's getting a raise, definitely.
Until that person starts throwing their mouse around because they just can't climb the wall correctly.
You hear all them clickety clackety
Yeah.
noises? That's
Yeah.
a lot of work getting done.
Yeah.
So much work getting done. Their employee evaluation is going to be through the charts.
I like this company that you work for that just measures keystrokes. And just like, that's it.
That's how they
That's it.
determine.
Especially if like StarCraft comes to it. It's just actions per minute off the charts.
Brian plays a lot of clickers. This is just ingrained
Done.
in success.
I'm going to get so many promotions. Well, good. That's
man.
a nice Dragon of the Week.
It's a nice D,
Indeed.
man.
I almost did
You
it.
don't
I
have
had
to
to
say
let
that.
I had to let Lewis do it.
Thank
No.
you.
No.
Yeah.
I'll miss you, but I won't miss that.
You won't miss the D?
No,
No.
nobody's
No.
going to, Lewis.
No.
That's just hurtful.
Yeah.
2008 misses that joke. But
That's
That's
it
what
is.
she said.
All right,
Hey.
2005. From
Yeah.
But
I'm old.
Oh,
But yeah, nice dragon of the week, man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
great.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
thank
Very
them.
nice. Yeah.
Thank the dragons.
Thank you, Jade.
Thanks, Jade.
indeed.
Very much appreciate that.
She's listening, so.
Everyone listens.
Everybody
so.
listens to
Yeah,
it.
so obviously.
Yeah. In fact, every single firework that goes off is just a little bit of this podcast in it.
Bursting into the air.
Oh, that'd be amazing if it's like crackle, crackle. My name's Brian.
It would take so
You're listening
long
to the podcast.
to listen to
That'd
that.
be a lot of
It'd
fireworks.
be so expensive.
It would be a lot of monies.
Not the technical limitations, just the amount of fireworks in general.
Yes. That alone.
Oh my god. But yeah, that was this week's Dragon of the Week. That's this week's episode. Really?
Wait, Brian, I have one
Yes.
more piece of news
Oh, you
that
have
I
a piece
forgot
of
to let
news.
you know.
Is this real?
What is it?
Yes and no, it's real.
Okay.
So it's real, but I don't know if any of you guys care, but I don't care.
Here
Okay.
it is.
Is it Nancy Drew?
It
Yeah, I
is
was about to
Nancy
say, it's gotta be
Drew.
Nancy Drew.
It's the only thing it could be.
So there's this contest that Her Interactive, the company that is doing the Nancy Drew game, has going on until August.
Okay.
It's to recreate a live photo using costume, makeup, and or set design to recreate a ghostly scene from the Nancy Drew games, book, movie, or TV shows. So you'd have to take this picture and submit it. The winning grand prize is entry to the Nancy Drew Haunted Savannah Convention. So there's a Nancy Drew convention going on
Not just
about
any
to
convention,
ask.
it's a haunted convention.
in Savannah, Georgia from October 23rd to the 26th.
Spooky.
Ooh.
So I
Wait,
just
does
had
Nancy Drew deal with ghosts?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not like real
like
ghosts.
Scooby-Doo.
Like
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo
Like
ghosts.
Scooby-Doo
But
ghosts.
this is actually haunted though.
Ooh.
Well, until Nancy Drew gets there.
Yeah, until that con goes on,
That's
and
what
you've
this-
got that many Nancy Drew
Until
fans
that
in a
con
building
goes on,
together.
you have like 3 people there, they can solve it.
Yeah.
That would be funny to go to the convention as a ghost to be unmasked.
I would be too afraid to get murdered at that because like people are just hankering for a mystery.
But
that,
wait.
like, one person's gonna do you in.
But it's going to get solved, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm dead.
But your ghost would. Oh, wait. That's the.
It's the recipient from last year's convention haunting this one.
Oh, man. Okay, well.
Thanks for that news.
And when is the game supposed to release, anyways?
It releases in November and pre-orders begin in October.
But what if it shadow drops during the convention and then nobody shows up to the last day because they're all playing the game?
I feel like they can
That'd
play
be
it.
fine because
Now-
then I would get the game a little early.
Is this convention just for the game, or is this just
It's
a Nancy Drew convention? Okay.
in general.
All right.
general,
So there's
yeah.
going to be 5 people there.
Yeah, that's
All
more
right.
than 3. More than 3. Yeah.
Well, you get 2 people get if you're the grand prize winnings is for 2 people. So there's at least going to
Okay,
be
so
those
it's 7.
2.
7.
Yeah.
hey, everyone who listens to this podcast is going. And that's everybody. So everyone's
Yeah.
going
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So they're all
Everyone's
going to be
gonna
there.
Yeah, but there is 7 of us sitting around this table right now. Oh no, this is just for us. If we don't enter, nobody's winning. I
Time to dress you up as a ghost, Brian.
know. Oh man.
No, Brian's definitely Nancy.
Yeah.
Oh,
please.
that's true.
And really, I'm a skeleton, not a ghost, man. I'm white and skinny. I'm a skeleton.
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 Good skeleton.
All right. Well, good podcast, I guess.
good
God,
podcast.
I don't know what I was saying.
Good
I'm saying
podcast.
words.
A Toddcast.
Toddcast, if you will.
Yes.
And as always, we film live upstairs in Tate's Comics in sunny South Florida. Today wasn't not so sunny.
That's okay.
And we are also powered by our friends, the 3000 Brigade.
Bam, bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam, bam.
Bum, 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 bum,
Oh, I can't
bum.
finish it. Copyright.
And let's see, you can always find us online at tasteofdragons.com, the Instagrams.
Yep.
And then you might be getting back into TikTok. You haven't.
Oh yeah. We're making some videos on TikTok
doing?
again.
Okay,
We're,
all right.
Twitter?
we're getting some challenges happening.
Yeah.
Some TikTok challenges answered video game style. So
Now's the time.
look forward to that on Instagram.
Nice. And then what was last week's dragon?
That's right. Every Tuesday we have Ranking the Dragons, our weekly quest to rank every video game dragon in video game history.
That's,
Totally gonna do it.
hell of a quest.
Please come out with more games with dragons, please.
There's so many. There's already too many.
Yeah.
Last week was Parthenux, the amazing dragon from Skyrim, took our #1 spot, kicking out Trogdor, which I never thought would happen. But
didn't think
after
so
talking about the amazingness and the wisdom and all the powers that Parthenyx has and the recognizability of Skyrim, it just made sense that Parthenyx would be the greatest dragon of all time, at least for this week.
At least for
At least for now.
I hear Alduin maybe in the horizon. I was thinking Frog Fraction Dragon maybe on the horizon. There's still dragons to check out down the road, so tune in every week to see how they rank.
Yeah, and please let us know if you have any suggestions as well.
Yeah.
We would love to hear them.
Parthenyx was a suggestion from a commenter, so
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that, sir.
Thanks,
Or
man.
we'll
madam.
have This Week on Gaming History. We'll look at this week in gaming history and see what games are going on. Check that out on Thursday.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
Saturday, as usual, or hopefully someday during the week, we have a nice little preview of our show. So the Instagram is popping just as much as
Snippet.
the podcast.
Yeah.
It'll
Check
be
it
a
out.
Snippet.
Pop, lock, and drop it.
Yeah, you bet.
Nice.
Content from all sides.
Oh, yeah. And then, sadly, this is going to be Lewis's last episode,
This
as we
is my
said.
last episode, yeah.
your
For
final
a
farewell.
Dead to
while,
us
if
now.
anything.
What's our favorite Lewis memories on the
Ooh.
podcast? I'll go first. Lewis, I remember when you weren't here. It allowed me to be on the podcast. It did. Initially. And then when you came back, it was cherry and icing on the cake that I was able to now be in the podcast with you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You know?
Beautiful. I like it.
So thank you for being successful with your outside life.
I do what I can't.
All right.
I do what I can't.
All right.
My favorite Lewis moment, I guess, would have to be that sweet D.
I knew it.
No,
Injecting that sweet D into this podcast.
Yeah.
I liked when he did
baby.
his last episode and then he left and then we didn't have to listen to the D joke anymore. That was my favorite
That's
moment.
just hurtful. You know what? I'll still do it wherever I am.
He's just going to be going on
I'll
Instagram
do
from
it.
now on, just saying sweet D, no matter what's going on.
Everything we post is going to have
I'll
that
make
as a
another
comment.
podcast and I'll call it something similar to Taste of Dragons about video games.
You'll just call it Sweet D.
Just so I can do it. Just
The
for
taste
that
of
reason.
D.
Yes. Oh God. The taste.
You see how you're reacting? That's how it is
That's
for
how it is
every
for us.
single time. Every single time, Lewis.
How
I
about
don't
you?
want it to be the name of a podcast. That's too much.
That was
It's
your
always
idea.
too much.
It was my idea for a hat, not for a podcast.
Gosh.
Oh, I see the line. I
Yeah,
see
that's
the
the
subtle,
line.
subtle line.
Yes,
The
very
lines, the
small.
lines at his forehead is what he
Yes.
said. How about you, Zach? Do you have a favorite moment?
His ability to turn To the Moon, which is a 3-hour game, into a month-long journey.
Literally, you could have made it to the moon and probably back. Literally.
Look, every moment was savored.
There you
Yeah.
go.
There you go. I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
every
nice.
moment.
Very
There you go.
nice. And then Katelyn.
Zach took mine, so my backup is when you downloaded that one app game and you were like, I'm totally going to play this because I haven't played any games this week. And then you download it 5 minutes before the podcast, and then you turn it on and you realize I only downloaded half of it. Crap. And then
Hey.
you didn't have a game to play.
I listened to that sweet music. It's pretty dope. I was excited. I'm like, yeah, here we go. And I excitedly touched the screen with my thumb. And I said, oh, but you need to download the rest. I went, well, I guess that's done.
He goes excitedly touched it with my thumb and he threw a fist out.
No, I did this. This is the fist, but this is the thumb right here. No one can see this because this is a
No.
podcast. But I'm showing that my thumb is what touched it.
It's actually just a middle finger.
It's
That's
actually just a lot of just middle finger all
This
around.
was a movie we'd play sad in memoriam music right now.
We would. We would.
Yeah, and then say like the time period from this year to this year, like I died.
R.I.P.
Well, like I said, you're dead to us now.
That's good.
Lewis, do you have a favorite moment of being
Of
on
you.
here? You yourself.
Not a specific moment, but I like that it's happened a few times actually, where the things I've said or that have been said in response to me have been used for the title of,
title?
certain episodes. And I'm like, yeah, I like that.
I said that.
I said that weird random thing.
Well, yeah. Well, again, thanks for being on, Lewis.
Yeah,
we
guys.
appreciate you having you on.
Thanks for
Lewis, I
having
mean,
me.
in all sincerity, you will be missed. And I look forward. I've enjoyed our conversations here. And
Yeah, me too.
You'll stay in the group chat and we'll continue our conversations outside
I
of
hope
here.
so. Keep me
Yes.
in it because those games are coming in September. Dropping like hot fire.
They will be.
Yeah.
They will be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, once again, my name is Brian.
For the last time, my name is Lewis.
Aw.
For this time, my name is Troy.
I'm still Manda.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Katelyn.
And we are the
Taste
Taste
of
of
Dragons.
Dragons.
We
That's what happens when you don't practice.
Wait, I have it again. Okay.
Okay.
Take two. Check the gate.
yeah.
All right, and we are
Dragons
dragons with taste. Wait, I messed it up again. I messed it up again. I said wait. One more time. Check the gate and go. And we are the dragons
of
taste.
You changed it up every time.
But it has a different meaning this time. We're
Yep.
dragons of taste.
You know, we're still way more on par than our actual name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is. And have a great week, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.